Hi, is this Hector?
Yes.
This is Tom Clark from the boardroom, piping you into the audio.
All right. Thank you, Tom.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the June 12th meeting for the Glendale Elementary School District Governing Board. Ms. Sagata-Jones, are there any changes to the agenda this afternoon?
Good evening, President Martinez. No, there are not.
With that, is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll move to adopt the agenda.
Second.
All right. Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Please join me in a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. I feel the need to ask, but are there any calls to the public?
No, there are none.
For those of you watching at home, there is no public here today. Everyone took the day off. All right, moving on to our consent agenda items. Are there any comments or questions regarding the consent agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Thank you. Moving on to reports and information items, starting with the 2025 Arizona Academic Standard Assessment data. Ms. Sagata-Jones.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, we're going to have Dr. Jerry Peterson and Carballo present the 2025 ASA district data. I do want to say that all the data points from the state are not in, so you won't see the predictions of letter grades at this time. And he'll just do an overview of that data, and then once we have all data in the final information that we need, then we'll come back and give you those ratings at that time. Dr. Peterson and Carballo.
Good afternoon, President Martinez, members of the board, Superintendent Skagata-Jones. As Superintendent Skagata-Jones said, this will be a very high-level show of our data for all students. We're still working through getting all the data and analyzing all the data and disaggregating all the data for everything. So this will be a very, very high level, and then we'll come back with more details at a later time. As she said, we're still missing 3 data points from the state. So we need to, which is normal at this time, but we're just missing those 3 data points still to make any kind of predictions. So this is the 2025 AASA district data, and the first one you'll see it's back to the 4 colors. I know that you liked the 2 colors last time, but it's back to the 4 colors this time because that's how AASA data is presented to us. So this is ELA by grade, left to right, 3rd grade to 8th grade, 2024 data versus 2025 data. Our ELA, you can see that we do have some bits of celebration. 7th grade and 8th grade ELA actually decreased in minimally proficient and increased in the other areas, which is great to see. Typically, or I should say historically, the upper grades kind of have had historically the other way, where you see more minimally proficient. So it was really nice to see that it was kind of bucking that trend. For 5th grade on up kind of had the trend of lowering minimally proficient, whereas our 3rd and 4th grade we need to look at and figure out what we're going to do about those grade levels as well. That actually, the 3rd grade data, just so you know, parallels, if you've heard of the NAEP assessment, which is given across the nation, the National Assessment of Educational Progress. It mirrors that data nationally. So, and just, I don't know if this is the reason, but something that we did figure out the other day is that the 3rd grade, our 3rd graders this year were the first year of COVID as kindergarteners. So I don't know if that's the reason. I can't say that's correlated that way, but it is something for us to think about. And when we create our plans for kindergarten through 2nd grade, we need to take those things into consideration as well. Math looks a lot better. As you can see, our intermediate math looks pretty good. And in every grade level, we reduced the minimally proficient in every grade level across the board for all students. So that is a great trend to see. Again, upper grades typically, historically, go the other way, even with math. So it's nice to see that the trend is going the other direction, lowering the minimally proficient and increasing the other highly proficient and proficient scores. So really what's next? Today, it just so happens, today was our data dig, our district data dig. In this room, we turned all this over in just a couple minutes, actually. It was a great day because we celebrated the not only academic data, but department data too, and department celebrations. It was a lot of fun. The theme was cheerleading, bring it on. Bring it on, actually, and then a little more professionally, clarity, capacity, and coherence. So that's kind of what our theme is for the year. They get really clear about what we're going to do, build the capacity of everybody to do it, and then make sure that it's coherent across the board, across the district, and there's alignment there. So that was the theme of today. They got to make spirit sticks with the cheerleading theme. They had to make a cheer when their slide came up with their data. It was a lot of fun. I'm sure we have some pictures from that will be posted, and it was just a good day all around. So that was today. So they're going to have site-based versions of those next, once people come back after summer break. We're going to provide very intentional professional development content. This is our first year in a couple years that we have not had an adoption of new textbooks. So we can really now focus on not just this is a brand new textbook, but now we've had a year with it. We know it a little bit better. We know the content better. We know the resource better. And so we can delve in a little bit more with that. So that's a great opportunity for us. We're going to provide clarity and implement the very best first instruction. We started with that with some clarity today about what best first instruction really looks like for all students. And then obviously we're continuing our collaborative teamwork. The Arizona Essential Standards, the Department of Education this year put out new essential standards and said these ones, you need to be taught all standards, but these ones you need to master. And so they went back to that model that they've had in years past, which is very helpful for us, so that we're not just shooting in the dark about what we really need to focus on and what's really important or a priority. So we created our new GSD pacing guides with feedback and recommendations and revisions from teacher groups. We had a teacher committee. It was rolled out to teachers to give feedback. And site administration, achievement advisors, instructional coaches, district office, educational services all had feedback on that. So those now are produced and given out. And we're really going to focus on getting to instructional strategies this year. That idea of not everybody that comes to us has all the training and can implement everything from day one. And so we're really going to focus on those strategies that give a really big bang for the buck and help everybody get their students to proficiency and grow. And then lastly, we're going to, what we always do is we like to monitor the implementation of effective practices, and we've always learned that you can't monitor without also supporting. You have to have both. And so we're going to be very clear and intentional in our work in that. So with that, I can take any questions that you have or any comments, but I'm excited about this next year, and especially that math data. It's really nice to see the minimally proficient being reduced for us.
I'd like to, one is a comment, like I'm always proud, especially when we see that our kids, we're seeing that the work is paying off, and we're seeing that they're making the progress, and hopefully the kids see that too. The other part, the AZ Essential Standards, since you guys are the experts in that, do those look like key things that they truly are the building blocks for everything else along the way?
Yeah, great question, members of the board, President Martinez, board member Bartels. Not all of the standards changed from what we thought that they were the essential standards before. So they kept some of those, but did change others. And the reason for that is because the work that was done at the state level before this year, I believe they may have horizontally aligned the standards across the grade level, saying these are important for third graders. These are important for fourth graders, but they didn't do this. They didn't always vertically align that way. And so they vertically aligned this time. So I know it's an acronym, but Reading for Information 1.0 is important in third grade. It's also important in fourth grade. So that you can see a staircase, we call it a staircase of complexity over time, and that it's not this, we're focusing here 1 year, then here 1 year, then here 1 year, that you can actually see that over time now. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Will.
Moving on to our next information item, the principal and teacher evaluation ratings. Ms. Segata-Jones?
Yes, President Martinez, at this time, Ms. Debbie Valadez will present those ratings as required each year.
Oh, thank you. I'm just loud and could hear myself. The evaluation outcomes of the principals and the teachers. Nothing, our instrument has not changed. The domains and the elements are the same, as well as what the overall rating, it's still the same, the 67% and the 33%. The domains are the same on the teacher evaluation instrument. The data part is still the same on the instrument. This is where there's a slight change from just because numbers have changed. But here's the aggregate teacher classifications for this school year. Then we go into the principal components. Again, the percentages stay the same. The standards are the same. The growth data is the same. And here's the overall ratings for the principals. And I know. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions from the board? I love the short and sweet presentations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to our action items. First action item 6A, review and second reading of revised policy manual for section B, school board governance and operations. Now that everybody has some extra time to have read over the policy changes, are there any questions or comments? All right, with that, is there a motion to approve the second reading for section B?
I move to approve the second reading of the revised policy manual, section B, as presented.
Second.
All right. Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Moving on to section item 6B, policy revision first reading. Ms. Sagata-Jones, I'll turn this one over to you.
Yes, the first one you'll see is IHA Basic Instructional Program. In this new policy, it's requiring the observance days of September 11 each year that we will have to provide instruction to students in any grades 7 through 12, and shall be age appropriate as outlined in statute. So that's that first one. And then JLIF, the sex offender notification, is letting us know through statute that if it's been determined by the agency offender has been determined by the agency to be a level 1 offender who's been convicted or of dangerous crime against children as defined in the statute, or a level 2 at a minimum risk, or at a level 3 at a high risk offender, the child school must be notified if the offender has legal custody of the child. And those are the changes to those policies. Are there any questions?
If there's no questions, is there a motion to approve the first reading?
I'll move to approve first reading of policy IHA, Basic Instructional Program, and policy JLIF, Sex Offender Notification.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Moving on to item 7 is future meetings and agenda item requests. Mr. Goddard-Jones, what do we have coming up?
Yes, on the future meetings, you'll see the proposed expenditure budget and the superintendent's performance criteria, because there's a July 1 deadline, but also we will have the study session for that. And that will begin at 4, but prior to that, though, and we need to just confirm, we will go into executive session and then have a study session. So that's what's coming up on the 26th.
Okay. We'll make sure everyone is aware on your calendar. I expect the 26th will be a relatively longer meeting for us.
Yes. We will have the demographer presenting.
Okay. All right. Any comments or questions from the board?
Yes, I have comments. I'll be out of the country on the 26th. I won't be there in person.
Just to repeat, you'll be out of country on the 26th?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir, for letting us know. We will go ahead and move on to the summary of current events. Ms. Sagata-Jones, what has gone on lately?
Yeah, I have just a presentation, just one I wanted to share with you, the results we have of our surveys, our parent surveys, and then our culture and climate school surveys. So I want to go ahead and present that. Can I do that from here, Tom? Thank you. Each year we survey, as you know, we do a parent survey, and then each school does a climate survey. So I want to share the results of the parent survey. We had 1,214 parent responses, and one of the questions, I'm just going to give you the questions and then the overall percentages. So the school's overall ratings, either the parents rated us A, B, or C in those categories. 89% of those parents rated their schools A, B, or C. We go down to these questions. Let me go through those. And we did the percentages of the strongly agree and agree. So my child's teacher provides extra help when necessary. 89% of the parents believe that. I'm satisfied with the academic opportunities this school is providing for my child. 84.8% believe that. My child's teacher has high expectations for his or her achievement. 90%. My child's teacher keeps me sufficiently informed about his or her educational progress, issues, or problems. At 86%. My child can tell me his or her academic goals. 84%. And I'm satisfied with my child's understanding of what he or she should know and be able to do academically at 85.5%. Then we go to, at my child's school, discipline issues are handled in a fair and appropriate manner. 77% strongly agree with that. My child's teacher is the first person I hear from regarding their behavior. 84%. I know what my child's classroom behavior expectations are. 94%. I receive clear communication regularly regarding my child's behavior. 85%. The school provides me with support and resources I need to help my child with his or her schoolwork. 83%. My child's school promoted kindness. 88%. My child's school cares about the social emotional well-being of my child at 84.8%. My child looks forward to attending school. 84%. My child or children are in a safe environment during the school day. 89.9%. And then I would become more, this is a question we asked, a couple of different ones. I would become more involved in school activities if more events were in evening or morning, 429. If there was childcare, 156. Interpreters were available, 265. And there was transportation, 96. So we'll work on those. Interpreters is a little concerning to me because we do provide interpreters, so I need to find out at the school level exactly what is happening there because we do provide interpreters. From what source do you get most of your information about the school? The website, 133. Your child, 468. School newsletter, 292. Friends, 36. Classroom app, 537. That's like Class Dojo. Teachers, 399. Classroom website, 58. And Facebook, 65. When sharing school information, I prefer to receive communication through a telephone call, 355, email, 591, classroom app, Class Dojo, or what we're using, 562, school flyer, 234, newsletter, 154, and social media posts, 48. So they really do like those classroom apps, and that's because if you ever receive those, it's personal to what's happening within that classroom and with your child. And then how interested this is a new question asked, how interested are you in tuition-based before and or after school care for your child? Not interested in tuition-based care, 362. Interested in before school care, 312. Interested in both before and after school care, 168. Interested in after school care, 57. So there weren't high percentages of that, interest in that before after school care. But what I do believe, I think, and it's just my belief, is that because we have been able in the past to provide after-school programs like Mosaic Clubs that often are going till 5 or 5:30, that replaces the need for a daycare, childcare support. So that could be the reason. For the climate and culture surveys, I wanted just to highlight the celebrations across the district. I have adequate strategies. These are from our teachers and staff, and it's all staff. I have adequate strategies to solve discipline problems before sending students to the front office, 90% in 2023 to 95% in 2025. So that's great because I know Dr. Lafitte and his department have been working on that. At my school, all students are treated similarly with regard to consequences associated with problem behavior and violations of discipline code, from 72% to 80% in 2025. And then my school recognizes students who demonstrate positive behaviors and achievement, 87% to 94%. So you see an increase in that. So I just wanted to share that, the surveys are long, they have all those questions, and the easiest way is just to give you a summary of that and highlight those important things. And we'll continue, each building level administrator goes back and shares the results with their staff, and they determine, what they can do to better improve in the areas that were concerns for them. And then with the parent survey, we always go back to the superintendent's parent advisory group as well and ask what questions would you like us to put on the survey, and share that results with them as well. Any questions? And that concludes my report. Thank you. Other than it's been an incredible school year. We did have the Data Day, great celebrations. It's always nice to end that way. But again, just an incredible school year. I want to thank all staff for their hard work, the community for their continuous support with everything that we do. We do have, as you know, some difficult decisions that are ahead of us, and we will have that study session, but we will do that. But just, again, to the board, thank you for your continued support. And I just want everybody to go away or stay home or do whatever you need to do for the summer and just enjoy yourself and enjoy time. Everybody's worked hard, and everybody needs just time to themselves. We always kid here that, it's just nice having a 4-day week, and that extra day makes a world of difference when we're able to do a 4-10. It kills us by the time summer ends, but right now it's real good. So that's all.
All right, thank you. Moving on to the governing board report, we will start with Mr. Jaramillo. Do you have anything to share with us?
I'll keep it short and sweet. Just sorry I couldn't be there in person. I got hurt at work. Currently recovering from that. I'm taking physical therapy, so that's why I'm not there in person. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wilson.
Well, just to say that a little update, that 3 of the board members plus Superintendent Sagata Jones and Ms. Powell, we got back from Flagstaff this Saturday, went to the Arizona School Board Association Leadership Conference, which is always good. It's not only nice to get out of Phoenix for a little bit and into the cooler weather, but there were some good sessions. I have to, in light of I'm in all districts, and I'm speaking with a lot of board members from other districts, the problem with the decline in enrollment. But there was a session on absenteeism that I think is really important, and I think everybody's focusing on that. They had been last year and will continue to do that. So looking forward to seeing some improvements in that. The AASA data was promising. I'm anxious to see what this next year will bring. So thanks to all of our staff and everyone, the community, parents, for all you did this last year, and just looking forward to having a nice, calm summer, and see everybody in the fall. Fall, no, not really fall, summer, end of summer.
All right, thank you. Ms. Pimentel.
I'm going to start out with saying happy early Father's Day to all the dads out there, all the uncles, the moms who are single that pulled double duty, grandparents, neighbors, everybody that participates in a child's life in a strong and meaningful way. I think it's important to recognize them to make stronger children for all of us. I want to take a moment to celebrate. If people don't know what our Mosaic of Minds is all about, it's about everything coming together. If you've ever seen any of our buses, if you've seen our shirts, we are a mosaic of minds, and we are a collection of different colors and sizes and shapes. And the beauty of it is that we all deserve to be celebrated, and all of our children deserve to feel safe in our community. There's a lot of tension out there right now, but I'd like to reinforce that, again, in our community, no matter where you're from and wherever you are in our mosaic, you are celebrated and safe here in GESD. And thank you for the AASA information from Dr. Peterson and Kravaya, and Ms. Sagata-Jones' celebrations info was great as well. And to reiterate what Ms. Sagata-Jones said, enjoy your summer and stay safe.
Thank you, Ms. Bartels.
I do appreciate the fact that we're seeing that the work that has been going on for several years in a row, I mean, everybody's rowing the boat in the same direction, and we're seeing that progress for all of our kids, because in the end, they are the ones, they need to find that success for themselves as well. Also, alluding to our Summer Leadership Institute, with so many districts having declining enrollment and us as well, we had a session that was the things to look at on the budget form that are kind of red flags for the possibility of welcoming a receivership into your district. And I am proud to say that this district has gone above and beyond to make sure we understood exactly where we were at. The fact that there was a reality, no matter what it looks like, we needed to address it. We couldn't ignore it. But also was very clear on what our position was and what we needed to do to, still be GESD. So thank you very much. Just wish everybody, stay safe, but enjoy your summer, time with family, friends. Thank you.
All right, I will keep it short. So thank you. I know it was exhausting going through all the data dig stuff today, and just mentally exhausting, and I imagine that's why there's literally no one else here but 6 of us, something like that. So I appreciate all the work you guys put in for that. I appreciate, being able to look at that very, very high-level report. It'll look interesting to see as you guys kind of get into a lot of the details of that, what changes we need to make. Again, I had a great time at the Flagstaff SLI for ASBA. Marianne and Brenda and I carpooled up there and back. We stopped at Rock Springs. Each of us got a pie. Each of us are a little bit fatter today than we were a week ago. But I appreciate the time I got to spend with my fellow board members. I appreciate our ability to the other district board members that we were able to network with while we were up there, because we're all kind of in the same boat. We all had to share the same concerns about what's going on right now with the, enrollment and education and legislation and things like that. So it was a great conference, and it's one of the few opportunities that we get to actually sit with our peers and discuss things that we have we have a common goal in accomplishing. So I just want to say thank you, everybody. Enjoy it. I know it's like 118 degrees outside right now, so be careful when you touch that steering wheel for the first time. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Have a great one.